The birds are chirping, the flowers are blooming, the bugs are starting to crawl around, and that means it's the season to talk about bats, so let's get into it. Hi, I'm Darlene Humphreys. Klamath County is home to a dozen species of bats, and most of the popular bats that we have in the area love to dine on mosquitoes. They are a great source of organic pest control for you. So if you have mosquitoes and you don't have a few bat houses up, hopefully your neighbors do, and gives that bat population a place to roost, and they will come out in the evenings and help control your mosquitoes. If you have mosquitoes and you do not have bat houses, it is a possibility that they will use your house as a place to live. Bats only need a hole about the size of a dime to get through your ridge vents, through your soffits, your chimney flashing. There's various ways that they can access underneath the roof of your house, and they will have their colony in there, they will have their pups in there, they will deposit pounds and pounds and pounds of bat guano in your roof if they establish a colony there. And there's some species that are very sensitive to relocation and disturbance, so the exterminators won't remove them until fall. So it's best to A, put up bat houses, B, make sure that you've got your house sealed up pretty well from the possibility of bats coming and taking up residence in your house and having tenants that don't pay the rent. And if you hear like a strange chirping sound or a scratching sound that you can't explain and you're like, what is that? Get an exterminator over and have them take a look and make sure that you don't have the start of something terrible. We've had houses in Chiloquin and Rocky Point where they've had a colony established. They have moved in, they've had their pups. Baby bats were called pups, who knew? And they had so much bat guano that like the insulation was covered in bat guano. It was starting to go down the walls. And basically the only way to remediate that is to take the roof off, take the sheeting off, have the colony removed, obviously, and remediate all that guano, which is that poo, and then put the roof sheeting back on and then put the roof back on. And remember that video that made the rounds years and years ago where there's roofers up on a roof and they're chipping off the Mexican tile roof and there's like thousands of bats flying out of the house? I mean, that's the kind of stuff you're dealing with when you have a full-blown colony living in your house and you have to try to get rid of it. I mean, that's not something you want. So if you find a dead bat in your yard or along your roof line on the ground, you see bat guano, it's probably time to call an exterminator over and have them come take a look and see if you have a situation where the bats are starting to try to get in, because a good exterminator will identify the signs and they have ways to identify the access points where the bats are getting in, and they'll seal that up for you and remove that possibility of having exciting non-paying tenants in your house. So 'tis the season to be aware and to be mindful of bats. If you have mosquitoes and you don't want them, put up a few bat houses. Bat houses are cheap. I think Reach builds them, if I remember right, but you can get them for various sources. You just hang them up in a tree somewhere and then the bats will hopefully take up residence there and not in your house. And if you are a buyer and you see evidence that there might be bats, make sure that you have an inspector over that knows what they're doing and they can tell the difference between, yeah, there's been a couple bats in here, and the difference being like you have a full-blown situation here, because that's not cheap. And it's my understanding that insurance doesn't pay for that for whatever reason, but you don't want to deal with it anyways, because they're, like I said, they're incredibly hard to remove once they have established themselves in a house. So thanks for joining me.